A $60 billion relief package for victims of Sandy is still not passed, and with every hour, everyone is wondering what is taking so long, including New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who says he will fight until he sees every last dollar. Christie calls the delayed vote disgusting. Here is really, in a couple of seconds, the highlights of the governor's comments. Take a look.
There's only one group to blame for the continued suffering of these innocent victims: the House majority and their Speaker, John Boehner. This is unfortunately the toxic politics of Congress right now. We've got people down there who use the citizens of this country like pawns on a chessboard. It was disappointing and disgusting to watch. That's why people hate Washington, D.C. New Jerseyans and New Yorkers are tired of being treated like second-class citizens. Shame on you. Shame on Congress. You do the right thing for the people who sent you there. Enough with all the politics.
Joining us now is political analyst Steve Adubato. Steve, the governor said what we all were saying, which is this is disgusting. How dare you politicize a catastrophe?
11 days. 11 days, Rosanna and Dave. That's what it took after Hurricane Katrina in 2005. 11 days for Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama. No questions asked. People were devastated. People had serious problems. Their lives had been turned upside down by a natural disaster. The United States of America, operative word, united. The key thing here is that when citizens of this country face a natural disaster, politics has always been off limits. John Boehner changed the rules a couple of days ago because all of a sudden now, apparently, if you are in a blue state, New York, New Jersey, on a presidential map, and not only did Peter King, Congressman Peter King of New York, a Republican, say, quote, you, the Republicans in Congress, have written me, meaning him, a Republican, off, apparently they were willing to write New York and New Jersey off because in presidential politics, we tend to vote Democratic, and that is incredibly disgusting because people, not politicians, people are suffering. I've never seen anything like it.
If there is any good news, it is that the congressional delegations from Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey, in a great show of bipartisan cooperation, all were united in their effort. But as we go forward, you know, something that kind of got a little bump in play and then kind of fell off the screens, John Boehner was reelected, Speaker of the House.
I wonder why.
What is the relationship on a go-forward going to be like between people like the governor, people like Peter King, people like Steve Israel on the Democratic side in Congress, who have been stalwart supporters of their constituencies but have made enemies of one of the most powerful men in the Republican Party, if not in Washington?
My view is that John Boehner made a terrible mistake. Listen, I know the fiscal cliff was difficult for everyone. The president, Speaker Boehner, everyone involved. Speaker Boehner did not want to go along with this deal, but in the end, if not, everyone would have been taxed in a certain way. Without getting too inside, Eric Cantor, who was the leader of the Republican Party, wanted to challenge him. In the end, when that tax hike went from $250,000 to $250,000, the president wanted that and went up to $450,000, which ultimately happened. In the end, Eric Cantor, who wanted to challenge John Boehner for the speakership, didn't vote for it. This is what John Boehner did. He said, I'm going to get you back. You want this aid package for New York and New Jersey? Congressman Cantor, I'm not going to go for it. That's what this is about. In addition to the politics of presidential, voting and a map because New York and New Jersey vote Democratic, this is how crazy it is. So they said, please give us the money. We'll give you the votes to be the speaker. That's how nuts this is. He got his speakership because of a political deal with Eric Cantor and enough of the Republicans to reelect him. Just this one time. My prediction, it lasts one term. He's out after this.
Well, he cries anyway when he gets in. He's going to cry.
He loses, he
He's
cries
going to
either
be
way.
hysterical on the way out.
People are crying for real out on in Staten Island.
You're right.
And other places in New Jersey, down the shore. You were talking to the mayor just a little while ago in Belmore. People are not crocodile tears, real tears.
Congressman King, I think, hit it on the head. You know, this area sends so much money to Washington, not just in federal taxes, but we donate to political races. I think today in the paper they said over $300 million came from our area. Stop it. Do not support these people. See what they did to us?
Peter King said.
Yeah.
I've never before, Chris Christie obviously speaks his mind, and he doesn't really care, again, the embrace of Obama right before the election. But Peter King, the ranking member on intelligence issues, Republican, said, if you contribute to Republicans nationally, you're nuts. Peter King said that. If you don't think that that caused John Boehner to move, if you don't think it caused Republicans who were reluctant in Alabama, Texas, Florida, Mississippi, who were saying, we don't want to do this, if you don't think it scared the heck out of them, trust me, it changed their opinion. That's why they moved with Boehner on this.
Chris Christie has been remarkably candid. Let's play another bite from the governor, and then I want to ask you a question about the political implications of all this. Let's take a listen to that sound.
This is not a Republican or Democratic issue. National disasters happen in red states and blue states, in states with Democratic governors and Republican governors. We respond to innocent victims of natural disasters, not as Republicans or Democrats, but as Americans. Or at least we did until last night.
So this guy has gone from a darling of the Republican Party and a question mark to Democrats in the region to a folk hero in some sense of the word for speaking so candidly. You got to ask, what's his relationship now with the people who run his own party, and specifically, I wonder what
I mean, some conservative Republicans are livid.
This is potentially someone who may be running on the Republican ticket in 2016, who is
Did he roll the dice?
What?
Do I think that the governor rolled the dice and said, look, in the end, I have to get reelected, you know, in 2013 in New Jersey, in a blue state, in a moderate state? Yes. Do I think that he curried favor with a lot of independents and Democrats? Yeah. Do I also think some Republican conservatives, the Tea Party's mad at him? Yes, because they wanted nothing to do with Obama, even though Obama was the president, was going to be the president whether he won or lost till January 20th, and New Jersey needed help. Christie made a risky move, but for the people of New Jersey. I think he is going to have problems with the Republicans on the right wing nationally. But in the end, he thought it was the best move for the people of New Jersey. And I'll tell you what, in my view, it's the kind of politics we need more of. What Peter King did, what Chris Christie did, is the kind of politics that most people want.
I think Chris Christie is bigger than the machine. I really do. It's the people that count. It's us that count in the end. It's not a few guys who are making backdoor deals anymore. He's bigger than that.
And most people, particularly after these storms, are thinking that way. And I hate to say this, but I'll just, real quick, I know I'm running out of time. Bob Menendez said, Senator of New Jersey, who ran the fight in Senate, the next time a storm happens in Texas or Alabama or Mississippi, we'll remember. And I hate, and I know he's...
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
No, but here's the deal. We have to stick together. We can't play politics with this, and even though we're going to get the money in the end, I pray and hope for these people who are suffering, people will never forget what happened here.
Again,
what it took to get the money.
The good news is that there was a bipartisan effort right here in the three states.
At home.
You betcha.
We stick together here.
Thank you so much, Steve. Appreciate it. And by the way, let's extend one more time an invitation to the governor. We'd love to talk to him about all of this remarkable
efforts that he's been putting in.
On the #1 show right here in the morning.
That's right.
He should be here.
All right. Thank you very much, Steve. Appreciate it.